Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Schenker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
The NBA has been frankly blowing up lately from the massive James Harden trade, which was probably one of the biggest trades I think ever, to a tight MVP race. The NBA has been probably the most ridiculous that we've ever seen it at this point. So in this episode, we're going to be going over the news in the NBA right now, starting off with that massive James Harden trade. He's going to Brooklyn. Victor Oladipo is going to the Rockets. Jared Allen to the Cavs. Karis LeVert. This is a crazy trade. This is ridiculous.
It really is. I mean, it was a huge monster four-team trade, including the Rockets, the Nets, the Pacers, and the Cavs. Right? Each team was able to obviously gain, and they lost a lot. But I mean, for me, I feel like the Nets lost a lot on this one. I know it's James Harden, but think about it like this: they lost 8.
I am so sorry. Okay. All right, I'm sorry. I had to get up for a second, and now I'm ready because that is complete bogus.
You ready? First off, have you seen James Harden? I know. It's just like coming out of all this mess of being in the off season, but come on, it's been 2-3 weeks now. Look at him. I'm sorry, he looks bigger than Zion now. Even the announcers knew what was up. They knew what was going on with James Harden.
His game definitely had his pregame meal.
Yeah.
I have to give it to the announcer. That was hilarious.
Exactly. And they're right. That's the thing. And it's showing in his game. His game has been lackluster in the past few games that the Rockets have had. I'm pretty sure it's since the first time since 2012 that James Harden has had, I think it was like under 20-point games, 4 games in a row. Since 2012, it was the last time it happened. So we know that he's fallen off a bit, but obviously it's because of what's going on with the chemistry on the team. That's not even the problem. I know that he'll probably do better when he's on the Nets, but this is the problem. This is another thing, right? When Kyrie comes back, and we're gonna go over our thoughts on the Kyrie thing, but when Kyrie comes back, you're going to have 3 ball handlers who just love to have the ball all the time. Kyrie, KD, and James Harden. Not as much with KD. KD will just pull up and shoot wherever he is given. But Kyrie loves to handle the ball. James Harden loves to handle the ball. And I'm just questioning how James Harden is going to want to do now that he's the second option, because he's been the first option on his team. The last time he was like that was when he was on the Thunder. Right? So he is going to have to get used to being the second option. And another thing, James Harden is terrible in terms of chemistry. He screws up the chemistry on a team so much. He's been doing it for years now. He did it with Chris Paul. He did it with Russell Westbrook. Look at them. Look at the team now. He was dragging down that Rockets team this year. So I still think obviously it's James Harden. You can't go wrong with getting him. So obviously you want to get James Harden, but they lost 8 picks. They lost 3 players. I mean, I understand
you're getting an MVP
that much. Obviously,
you're getting an MVP, and you're getting probably the best offense.
But he's not going to be playing MVP caliber level. He is not.
Okay, he's still an MVP.
All right, yeah.
You're getting 3 of the best offensive. No, you're getting the 3 of the best offensive players. You are not outscoring this team. They're gonna win.
You're right, but you're telling me that you're not going to see James Harden trying to shoot 30 times again?
He's not going to be able to.
He's going to try to. That's the problem. Kyrie will get the ball.
No, he's not, because James Harden's going to know that he's not the first option anymore. He knows it's not his team. He got traded to the Nets. He's not going to be taking that many shots as he used to.
Here's what's going to happen, right? Kyrie's going to dribble the ball out to half court. He'll pass it to KD. KD will be fine. He'll just shoot it. That's fine. James Harden, he'll take his time with the ball. Won't pass to anybody when they ask for it. And then he'll do his step back. And then half of the time it'll go in.
You're forgetting about the fact that James Harden averages more than 10 assists in the game.
That's fine.
This season.
But he still averages like 30 shots. So
let's take a look. Let's take a look at the stats.
Okay.
James Harden stats because you seem to think he's taking so many shots per game.
You're telling me that you do
he's
not think that
taking
he's taking
17 this season, which is indeed 5 less than last season and 7 less than 2019.
And why is he taking?
I think you're crazy.
And you know why he's taking 5 less? That's because he's overweight as hell. And he's also just not in the right headspace. Look at that. And even with the 17 shots, 25 points a game. That's fine. That's not bad. But for him, he could
Not bad.
Better. That's good, but he could be doing so much better. Especially in the last few games, he has not been doing well.
He's averaged 4 less free throws a game.
Oh, that's good. That's good for him because he takes a lot of free throws every game. So I'll give that to him.
He averages 10 assists.
All right. All I'm saying is that
I'm saying is no one is beating this team. No one is beating 3, 1 All-Star, 2 MVPs.
Wow.
No one is beating that team.
So now you think that the Nets are 100% going to beat the Lakers, or 100% going to even?
Yeah, I think the Nets are going to beat the Lakers.
You think the Nets are better than the Lakers right now?
Right now, no, because they need to get their chemistry up. But in the postseason, the Lakers are not winning.
Even with James Harden, I still do not trust it. And it's not.
You are just crazy. You are bogusly ridiculous.
It's purely
I cannot believe the fact that you still think that the Lakers are the best team in the NBA.
That's not even why.
Crazy.
That's not even why.
No, that is why. You think the Lakers are the best team in the NBA. They're not anymore.
Yes, I do think the Lakers are the best team in the NBA.
They're not better. You have LeBron and AD versus 2 MVPs.
Chemistry helps everything. We know that, okay?
You can't guarantee the fact that James Harden's going to make the chemistry bad. He's with a former teammate.
That's what happened with Russ. And look at what happened with Russ and last year.
Look at how good Russell Westbrook was with James Harden in the regular season. Don't give me any of that playoff BS. They went up against the Lakers, who was the best team in the NBA last season, who also would have lost to the Clippers had they gone up against them. But you just don't want to admit that because you know that Kawhi Leonard would lock down LeBron.
Hey,
you know what? Also to the fact, I'm not letting you speak because this is my turn. This is my segment.
Go ahead.
Also to the fact, I just think that who's going to guard 3 offensive stars on the Lakers? You have LeBron, who's going to be guarding KD. You have AD, who's going to be guarding a big man. And Schroeder's a terrible defender on Kyrie. And who's going to guard James Harden? Who? Literally, who?
I have another question. Are all those 3 players going to be playing 48 minutes a game?
No, they're going to be playing 40 minutes a game. They're going to be playing 8 less in the playoffs. They will have the best offense in the NBA. Are you forgetting?
You're right. They'll probably have MVP. They probably will have the best.
You're forgetting about the fact that Kevin Durant is still the best player in the world. He's freaking ridiculous.
You're right. They probably will have the best offense in the NBA. But let's talk about another thing. You really think DeAndre Jordan's going to be able to lock up Anthony Davis?
I don't care about Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, to be honest, isn't even doing as good as he was last season. He's not particularly performing very well. He's not taking enough shots. He's not as good on defense this year. And to be honest, I just don't really care about Anthony Davis. If I have 3 offensive superstars, not even stars, superstars on the team,
there may not even be a third. Kyrie may not even come back. But why don't we go into that right now and just talk.
Even with James Harden and KD, they're still beating that team.
Why don't we talk about Kyrie? What are your thoughts on the whole Kyrie Irving situation?
Kyrie Irving situation is absolutely ridiculous. I think that he should be fined multiple times. I think he should be fined a ridiculous amount. He should be fined for what he gets paid for a game. He shouldn't be paid for that. When he comes back, he can get his money. He does not deserve the money. He's probably getting $500K per game. He should be fined that much because he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving is the biggest you-know-what in the NBA by far.
Mm-hmm.
He is the most hateable man in the NBA. I do not hate Kevin Durant anymore. I like KD. Kyrie, you are just a dimwit. You are just being so terrible. Do you know how many people are influenced by you also? And the fact that you're acting like a childish moron in front of your team, you're an NBA contender and you're acting like this. That's not how it works. You know, if people acted like that at a real job, they would get fired. You are lucky that you're Kyrie Irving. You're lucky that you get paid $30-40 million a year. It is ridiculous that you think that you can just keep doing this.
You're right. You're 100% right. He's being selfish. There's
He would have
no
been fired if he was at a real job.
yeah.
That isn't the NBA.
There's no need for all of this, right? There have been videos. I don't know if you guys know, but for the past week now, Kyrie Irving has just not been playing, and they haven't said why. They've just been saying it's because of personal reasons. But now a video is showing up that Kyrie went to his sister's birthday party with 50 or more people, maskless, all of them. And the NBA is now investigating it, but they said that if it is true, he will be fined $450,000 for each game that he missed.
There we go.
Upcoming games that he
There we
missed.
go.
So
He should be fined. He should.
my question to you, Kyrie, is what are you doing? Right? You were the
Not
top.
like he's gonna see this.
Obviously, we never know. But still, why? What are you doing? You're one of the top players in the NBA. You're a top 5 point guard in the NBA. You were doing amazing before all of this happened. What is the need for this? What is the need? There's absolutely no need.
There literally is no need for this. Kyrie, just solve the problem. Just play the damn game.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's move on to the next topic. Who will get the top seed in the Eastern Conference? Jacob, who do you think it's going to be? Because this is like, it's really hard for me to decide.
Yeah, I mean, I know regular season is completely different to playoffs in terms of what the outcome can be. But because I know the West, I feel like it's a bit more ahead because it's.
I'll give you a hint, though. I'll give you a hint.
The Knicks.
Choose right. Choose right.
All right, I'm going with the Knicks. No, I feel like it's going to be a couple of teams. I think the Nets right now are sitting at 6th. Obviously, I think they'll come up. I feel like the Nets will probably get either the 1 or 2,
especially with Harden.
Yeah. I mean, the other 2 teams that really come to mind are the 76ers and the Bucks, because 76ers have actually been very good this season.
They have.
They've been better than I really expected. They've been playing well all around. Doc Rivers has really been able to coach this team much better. Joel Embiid has been in the MVP race right now. Yep. Whether the NBA wants to say it or all the writers and analysts want to say it, Joel Embiid is a top 3 player in the MVP race. And that's a fact. Ben Simmons has been
meh on the scoring end, but everything else he's been good.
Yeah.
But the reason Ben Simmons is fine is because he's not a spectacular scorer. And if you see the points on the board, then you're going to be like, damn.
He's getting like 10 points a game. That's for a point guard. Come on.
Yeah, he is getting he's a mainly playmaker, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but still, he could be doing so much better. But
he definitely could.
Yeah, if I had to give it to one team that I think will probably just get it, I feel like it'll probably be the Bucks again.
I have a feeling too.
Right. I mean, Chris Middleton's been playing really well. Giannis has been playing really well.
Drew Holiday's been playing phenomenal on defense.
Mm-hmm. They've been
His defensive rating is through the roof, like really good.
Doing well all around, which we expected them to do. We expected this. I think we didn't expect Chris Middleton to be doing as well as he's been doing. And obviously Giannis has fallen off a bit as a result of that.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, but still has been a top player. I mean, I think Bucks will probably come out.
I agree with you on that one. I feel like it's going to be closer than it was last year or even the year before that too. I don't think there'll be a 60-win team, maybe 50s, probably 50s at best. 60s at best, obviously, but I think they'll get in the 50s.
Yeah, 50, 55, I could probably see that.
Yeah, probably high 50s. And then obviously the Nets with Harden there, that's definitely going to help them out. Not 100% sure.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next topic, which is the MVP race, which I was talking about before with Joel Embiid. So who do you think has probably been, like, if you were to pick one player right now, today, to be the MVP, who would it be and why?
For my personal preference, I'm going with Nikola Jokic, but he's the 9th seed right now, and he's not deserving of it due to the fact of his team's success. And so I can't give it to him, but purely on stats, when you look at Jokic, it's absolutely ridiculous. He's averaging 11 assists as a center. It's really hard for me though to choose an MVP, but like who comes to mind? Steph Curry and LeBron also come to mind. I'm thinking it's probably Steph Curry for the fact that the Warriors are in the playoff hunt behind 6 ridiculously good teams. I think that Curry will probably get first team All NBA this year. He's been performing phenomenally.
I can see that happening. I'm a little surprised with Luca. I expected him to do a lot better than he's been doing this year. He's been doing fine, but he could be he's been doing good, but he could be doing so much better
Yeah,
than
of course.
we expected. I mean, I think it's a fall off from last season, but I mean, I know the one thing for me, I know I'm a big LeBron fan, but I do not think that he's a top candidate for. I don't think he's the number one candidate, at least.
He comes to mind because the Lakers are 10-3 right now.
Yeah. I mean, he's still doing well all around. Not as good as last season. He's still like Giannis. He's fallen off a slight amount.
He's regressing. He's definitely regressing. LeBron is starting to regress. It's coming. It's coming.
I mean, it's showing, but they're still a top team in the league. I think, the best team in the league. But I think that for me right now, if I had to pick one player, it'd probably be Joel Embiid. Because not even just because of the success of the team, but just individually, he has been doing so well, scoring, rebounding, defense, shooting.
I just don't think he's like athlete enough to be the MVP this season.
He's no Jokic in terms of passing, but for what a common center does in terms of passing,
he's good at passer.
He's still doing well. So there's not one thing that he is doing that is bad. It's a bigger step up, and I think the big discussion by the end of the year is going to be who's the best center in the NBA.
I think it's Jokic.
I mean, I still think it's Jokic, but
he's unstoppable on offense. Like, he can do everything on offense. He's an offensive masterpiece.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, the reason I would put Jokic also, but because of what's going on with his team, I don't really think it'll be him. But right now, Joel Embiid has just been lighting
figure it out.
Up.
Eventually, we'll figure it out.
Yep.
But let's go on to the worst team in the NBA right now. And I think this is a pretty easy one right now. I'm saying that it's the Pistons. They're 2-9. They don't have an all-star. They don't have, to be honest, Jeremy Grant has been their best player. That says a lot. He's been doing really well, but it's Jeremy Grant.
Yeah.
It's the usage that's helping him out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that they're doing this bad. I mean, they don't really have that much at all.
No, not anymore. They lost Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin. His injuries got to him, and he's lost a lot of his athleticism, which was a main part of his game. And he's had to rely on a three-point shooter, which he's average at best at.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It's really just Jeremy Grant and Derrick Rose out there. Everybody else is just...
Oh, Derrick Rose. Yeah.
Meh. I mean...
Poor Rose.
Yeah,
should have signed somewhere else. Should have signed with the Clippers or the Lakers.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant should have signed somewhere else where he can actually... I mean, he's doing well.
His contract is almost up, so he's going to get paid the big bucks. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but I mean, I think the one team though that I think has been a bit really surprising for me. Well, actually, 2 teams that have been really surprising for me that have not been doing well are the Wizards and the Raptors. More so on the Raptors end.
100% more so on the Raptors end.
I mean, I knew that they weren't going to do as well as last season because they lost their big centers with Marc Gasol and Serge Ibaka, but this is a huge step down. I mean,
They're 3-8. They're the 13th best team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Or the East.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Boucher has been able to pick it up on the center end. He's actually
Lowry's been good.
Yeah, he's been pretty underrated. Siakam's been fine. He's been a bit inconsistent, but overall he's been fine. I think this team overall, they are a good team. They need to connect more.
There's something wrong with them. I haven't watched a Raptors game, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on with them, but I really don't know.
Yeah, I think they just got to get into a groove, because once they can get into a groove, then they're going to be really good.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that Yeah, they need to just find their groove because they are a good team. They 100% are. But they need to figure it out.
Yeah. But for the last topic is the Rockets, the Houston Rockets that we want to talk about. So now with the trade going through, they're getting Victor Oladipo as they got Karis LeVert, traded him to the Pacers, getting Victor Oladipo. So now he's going to have that starting five and the potential starting five, which is looking like a John Wall, Oladipo, um,
Christian
PJ
Wood.
Tucker, PJ Tucker, Christian Wood.
Christian Wood's been balling this season. He's so good.
He really has been, and maybe even Boogie will start to play. But
Yeah.
do you think they will make the playoffs?
There's a chance. They have to start winning games now, though. Like, I think that if they want to get back into their groove, John Wall needs to start playing a little bit more minutes because he's come back from his Achilles injury very strong compared to what other people do. He's averaging about 20. He's not doing the playmaking, but Harden was averaging 11 before. And I have a feeling like this is a really tough Eastern Conference. You have the Lakers, the Clippers, the Jazz, the Blazers, the Suns, the Mavericks, and the Warriors. Those are 7 teams that will probably make the playoffs. The Nuggets will probably make it. The Pelicans, I don't know about. And if the Rockets want to make the playoffs, they have to win games.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of teams now that are starting to get a bigger lead than they did last year, and I think they'll probably make the playoffs. Which, I mean, one of those teams is the Suns. I think the Suns will probably make the playoffs again because they've just
I think so.
improved.
CP3, Chris
Mhm.
Paul is one of the most impactful players in the NBA.
Absolutely, absolutely. I
He's
mean,
been
just
good.
look at just in general the Thunder. I think he impacted them so much and was able to coach them so much that I thought they were going to be the worst seed. They're 11th, which is honestly
Yeah,
good for what they
he
are.
taught them well. He taught them
Yeah.
how
Uh,
to get rid of those .4 chances.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely
So,
ridiculous.
yeah, so I mean, I think, like you said, I think the Rockets do have a chance. I think it's going to be very tough for them because the East. I feel like this year it's just been like oddly more competitive in terms of the
In the
lower
East?
seed. Sorry, the lower seeds though,
Oh,
and in the
yeah.
playoffs, the top seeds are obviously going to be secured with the
Yeah.
Nets, Bucks, Pacers, Celtics, and 76ers. But the lower seeds, right, like in the East, the Hawks now have a chance to make it. Even the
Hornets are doing good.
Heat will probably make it. They just need to start picking it up a bit.
Yeah. Jimmy has to start playing more games because he's been getting injured lately.
And they've been having a lot of players that haven't been playing because in terms of COVID.
Yeah. Also, Bam.
Yeah, but I think the Rockets do have a chance because they do have a good team. Christian Wood, who's probably going to win most improved player. John Wall, who's been doing well, he just needs to come back with the injuries and stuff and try to stay healthy. Victor Oladipo, who will probably do really well on that team. So overall, it's going to be a really good team.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good for the Rockets this season, or hopefully they'll make the playoffs.
Absolutely. That's all for today, everyone.
Feel free to comment down below what your thoughts were on the James Harden trade and the rest of the NBA.
Tune in to the next episode on Monday. See you guys next time.